We're almost done with 2020. Are we almost done with COVID? And the recession as well. You see, a recession occurs every 10 years. In 1981, the energy crisis recession lasted for around 16 months. In 1990, the Gulf War recession lasted for around 8 months. In 2001, the 9/11 recession, the dot-com bubble collapse, and the 9/11 attacks resulted in an 8-month recession. 2009, the Great Recession. Subprime mortgages led to the financial crisis and a deep 18-month recession. 2020, of course, the COVID-19 recession. Now, these recessions are all very different in nature, but they do have one thing in common. The economy is pretty dead, yes. And then the governments are going to stimulate the economy, right? So they print more money and make that easily available to people, such as emergency benefits, or let people borrow money at a very low interest rate. Now people have more money to spend. They go out to buy things. Then businesses will hire more people. So now more people have jobs and more money to spend. Money starts circulating around again. You see, the first thing that recession have in common is monetary expansion, and that's actually part of a natural business cycle. Peak, recession. Trough, expansion. Peak, and the same cycle continues. But this COVID recession is unlike any other. Look at that sudden free fall in the GDP growth rate. That's the biggest drop we've ever seen. Just when you are still wondering how low it can drop, the rebound has already happened. It is the biggest expansion ever. The main drivers of the growth are consumer spending, housing demand, and businesses restocking inventories. Of course, that is just the percentage growth rate. We still need some time for the absolute GDP to recover to the pre-pandemic level. What's important here though is not the absolute number, but the trend, the V-shaped recovery trend. Let's take a look at the business cycle again. As an investor, when do you think is the best time to get in? On the rising edge of that expansion, right? You wouldn't want to wait till we are near the peak of that expansion, would you? I think a lot of people do realize that we now have that once-a-decade opportunity to increase our wealth. That's why I see a shift in market dynamics after the vaccine and immigration announcements a couple of weeks ago. Let me recap briefly on the downtown condo market in the past few months. The market is characterized by an oversupply of listings, not enough buyers and not enough renters. Supply is more than demand, so prices drop. In the rental market, if you are willing to drop the rent, it is still easy enough to find a good tenant. We rented out 37 units in the past 30 days, so a little bit more than a unit per day. Because the money involved in rental is small, most landlords would rather drop the rent for a few $100 instead of carrying a vacant unit. So average rent can easily drop 15 to 20%. In the resale market, most people are selling because they don't want to deal with COVID rental. And the potential buyers are people hunting for deals. They think they will get the huge 20% to 30% discount. In reality, the sellers are not desperate enough, and the buyers cannot find that huge slash in prices. So we end up with a very slow market, low volume in transactions, with roughly 5% to 8% price drop. Now, how did the market react to the vaccine and immigration announcements? Disclaimer here. I am going to share with you about what I see on my end. but it doesn't necessarily reflect the overall market because my clientele is typically highly educated and in very good financial positions. Usually at this time of the year, the market is very quiet and I would be going somewhere hot for vacation. Well, this year, I'm obviously stuck and it actually turned out to be very busy. I got a sudden jump in appointment bookings since the vaccine announcements, and we used to have quite a few listings with no movement for the past few months. Now they are all sold. Multiple offers are back, so I just want to let you know that we are getting into that rising edge of economic expansion. If you are a deal hunter, it is a great time to hunt now. But you need to be reasonable if you actually want a transaction to happen. A 5% discount is something feasible. If you are lucky, you may get an 8% discount. If you are looking for a 20% discount, don't waste your time. Let me show you an example deal. It is exclusive, not on the MLS. A one-bedroom unit in the central downtown at Yonge and Wellesley, right beside the subway station. 3-year-old building. It is tenanted at $1,600 per month, so you won't need to worry about COVID rental. Price? Only $530,000. If your budget is a little bit more, say around $600,000, I have some really nice 1+10 units for you. So, if you are ready to be a serious deal hunter, you can schedule a call with me at the link below. If you want to stay on top of the market deals, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell now.